Morning, everyone. Who here went to SeaWorld and rode a roller coaster last night? All right. So, lots of ups and downs, a lot of dives and turns. The first time I'm like, why did I do that? And the second time it's like, who talked me into this? And the third time I'm like, okay, everything got fuzzy. I don't know what happened the rest of the night. And that's kind of like implementing a digitalization project in these days and age, right? Lots of ups and downs. At the very end, assuming you're successful, you're like, yay! I don't know what happened there because now I'm on the next one. And so I'm going to talk about one of our projects, this data exchange between companies. I'd like to thank Caitlin Henderson, Mari Molino from our Digital Operations Center, Mary Beth C. Schultz from our Operations IT OT Technology Center, Jessica Hancock with Nalco Water. Also have Ramses Veruga here, who was a key part of our project also. So how we got started. This happened a few years ago. Someone in our business who's now retired, posed a question, hey, can I get this Nalco water data on some of these dashboards that we have? It's hard to look at our Dow data. Oh, sorry. Thank you very much. I'm looking at my iPad, sorry. So can we put this data together? We got the Dow data in one place, we got Nalco water data in another place. We want them on one dashboard. So other questions that came up were, can we send this Nalco water data that they need from us also? And can we do away with all these emails, right? The spreadsheets, data going back and forth. It's hard to, organize that and keep them useful. And the other driver is reduced events. So each of our unplanned events related to a water data case allows us to prevent events. So if we've got this data together, we can use historical data and real-time analysis to prevent those. So our approach that we use, we brought this really knowledgeable analytical and IT teams from each company together. We did some trials from 2018 to 2022. So again, we wanted to combine the data so we can complement each other. The data that they have, the data we have a more complete view of the process health. So we've got our past figure here where, we're exchanging emails, Excel spreadsheets. The data is being interpreted separately or ignored. We're having outages or unplanned events because we're not having an adequate response. And so what we wanted here in the future slide is that data together. We've got the happy engineer there, or operator. Yes, I've got all my data. I've got it timely, right? I can do interventions if necessary. So we engaged our Digital Operations Center. We included a truly cross-functional, diverse and inclusive team. Brought those together, created a charter, identified our functional and technical requirements. So, what data do we need? What data do they need? How often do we want to exchange it? We want a really high volume of data movement here. We want a secure credential exchange with our third party. We want it stored and forward, so in data recovery capabilities, right? So you want to be able to, if there's an outage, fix that problem and then get the data flowing again. We want it to easily map the data exchange between the companies so it's understood. We wanted a cloud-based solution, and we had to follow Dow's IT and Nalco Water's IT guidance, so we worked together around that. We wanted the data pushed outbound and pulled inbound, and of course we wanted historical and real-time data usage here. So we did some technology evaluation. Our slide here with the cars is a good one here. Choices were on-premise solutions, IaaS, which we, the on-premise we related to having your own car. The next one was a lease car. A bus was SaaS. And I should have changed that taxi to probably Uber or Lyft, I guess. Because I don't know if anybody takes a taxi anymore, right? But that was our past process there. And so we did choose platform as a service. And we did that by going through looking at the pros and cons for each one of them, right? So SaaS, we're like, well, someone said, you don't have to support hardly anything here. The external company handles it, no need really for resources on either company side, but we would have to maintain a license. So there's costs there. Both companies have to agree to, their data go into another cloud-based solution. Not a lot of flexibility with the solution. And then in PaaS, we say, well, we have that flexibility. We can configure it the way we need. Simple use of the technology and the network. We can manage the integrations easily. But you do need skilled resources, right, at both companies. That's a key to digital transformation, right? We hear that. Got to have skilled people. And in this case, it wasn't a con because we had that. And that was really good to see that we had the people in Dow, Nalco Water had the people in their company. So it was really an easy choice there. So we started with before the proof of concept, we had a detailed solution architecture that we had reviewed and approved. We picked a plant. We did a data exchange agreement to understand what we're going to move back and forth. We did a security and data privacy assessment. We had to do a new NDA, which Richard, thank you, was involved in doing that. So we had to put that in place for that data exchange. Had to get leadership support, obviously. And we wanted to obviously define the success. The end of the roller coaster ride, right? We've got all that data in one place. So this is our picture of that. You can see we're moving water quality data that Nalco is getting. We're moving it over to Dow, and we're sending them information that they need as well. So what we're looking at on the right is what we would expect to see on our PI system in the plant. You got Nalco water analysis measurements, online measurements, and the Dow data. It's all in one place. So our operators and engineers can see that and act on it. So our next steps were going through a pilot. We were successful in that. We've got data moving back and forth, working out the support and implementation, obviously, in both companies. So, if something breaks, who do we call? So we're moving from development to full implementation. We're actually starting on our next plant now, and I've identified the one after that as well. Defining the system reliability and the data usage. And there are costs obviously associated with using Azure for both Dow and Nalco. It's really minimum compared to the other options, but it's a good thing to talk about, right, to understand that cost. And so in the end, again, we were successful. We could all at the end of the roller coaster ride, at that point, then I'm, yay! Renan here's like doing that the whole time, right? And he got his phone back. Yes, good. So yeah, hold on to your personal things when you're going through that project, right? You want to have them at the end. But that's where we are. I felt really good to define that success, and in that particular roller coaster, and now jump on the next one, right? And so in the end, I'd like to thank Nalco Water for partnering with us and being very open to this data exchange. They obviously didn't like having to do the spreadsheets and the emails. We didn't like it. Let's come together and solve it. And that's what we've done today. So, thank you very much.